All right. We have the kindergarten team from Sugarloaf, and we're going to be talking about the PLC process this year. All right, so first of all, this was your first year as far as using PLC. So what was your feelings, or what did you think about when it first started?
Well, my first thought was that I really didn't know what a PLC was. I didn't understand what their purpose was. And for me, it did just seem like another thing that we had to do.
Okay. And the other thing being the assessment or the instruction, what was the other thing that you're talking about?
Just another component that is added on to our ever-growing list of tasks that teachers are expected to do.
Okay, and I think that that's a very common reaction, a very common feeling, oh, one more thing that we're asked to do. All right, so as the year progressed and you guys were very diligent about, even though you felt like it was one more thing, you were very committed to go ahead and do the process. So what were some of the growing pains that you had throughout the year? Some of the adjustments that you had to make?
I think for us it was getting the assessments off of the Common Core assessments and then giving them the first time and then finding out that they didn't work. And so I know for us, one of them, the comparing and contrasting, we thought it was great because it used pictures and stuff, and then the kids couldn't do it very well. So then we would give the assessment, the pre-assessment, and then have to talk about how we would adjust it or adjust our rubrics, because whatever we thought for the rubric too, we thought it would be great, and then when we were grading it, it didn't work to what the kids needed. So we would have to adjust it by the time we gave the pre-assessment.
Okay, so would it be a fair statement that from whenever you started doing that, it was a constant look at it, adjust, look at it, adjust? Okay. All right. Was there a conversation about this as everyone had input to say what they felt was needed, the adjustments?
It was once we gave the assessment, because we would all sit back down and then talk about like what worked for each class and what didn't work and what our kids struggled with. And then we would also talk about like the grading, and like as we were grading it, if we had one that we weren't sure about, we would ask each other on it. And then if we needed to adjust the rubric, we would adjust the rubric then as we talked about it when we were reviewing the pre-assessment.
And I think that that's critical as far as for PLCs, talking. What you said, we talked amongst ourselves, what worked, what didn't, okay? So now that you've gone through PLCs for the year, how do you feel at the end of the year that you felt like it went?
I think that we have gotten a lot stronger as a team. We know it has helped us to work together more.
Okay.
And ask questions. We're able to go to each other and see the different strategies. If our class is not doing as well in a certain area, we can go to our team members and ask them what they're doing, why their kids are succeeding, and then we can take those strategies back to our classroom. So it's made us a lot stronger as a team, but it's also helped us to see what our kids really need with those pre and post assessments. Okay. When we have to adjust the rubrics and stuff, we're really looking deep into the standards and what they mean and what these kids need to know.
Okay, very good. All right, so good year, adjustments, growth, but always reflective. How do you feel as a team that you're going to take it this year and go deeper next year? What changes will you make? What adjustments will you make? Do you foresee for next year?
I think that as a team, that like what Courtney just said, that we're going to be able to go deeper because we're more familiar with it now, so we understand the process of it better, so we'll be able to get it done faster, and we know now what we should be looking for, and like the data and the adjusting the pre-assessment to the post-assessment. We know what we should be looking for, we know the types of questions to ask each other, and we can put all of that together to help our students to grow even more next year.
Okay. All right. Any other thoughts as far as?
I think that because we just use the assessments on the Common Core website, I think that we could go deeper in that we find our own assessments and we start making up our own assessments, because we did find that some of the Common Core assessments did not work for our kids. So maybe now that we know what we're doing, we can find our own assessments and make up our own assessments as a team based on what our kids need.
Okay. All right, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with using an assessment that is
Right.
given to you or
Right.
that's made available, but I think that just making your own assessment is going to be helpful. All right, something I'll just throw out there, have you thought about possibly taking it to another subject area? And no may be the answer, but could it be an easier transition taking it to another subject area?
Well, it certainly could. I mean, we're already doing it for ELA and for math, and there's no reason that we couldn't bring science and social studies into it, using the same process based on the standards, based on pre and post assessments to expand the areas of science and social studies.
Okay, and Julie, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You said that you felt at the beginning it was just one more thing. Now that you've gone through a year, do you feel like it's one more thing now?
I feel like it's a part of our daily lives, a part of our weekly lives. It's not something that we have to do, but that we need to do because it helps us to be better teachers.
Okay, and then if you're a better instructor, then who benefits from that?
Our students.
Exactly, and that's why we're doing it, to see our growth and to see what we need to do differently to